So we've been getting some requests on Simon's pedal board, what he's using, some of his sounds. And so I'm going to shoot a couple of videos giving maybe some lessons on some songs. I think we got the Holy Hour was asked how we play the Holy Hour, and then just kind of what we use or what I'm using for the setup. From some of the pictures that we've pulled from the internet, we know that he's using a TU2 or TU3 tuner. At one point he was using a metal zone for distortion, Boss Flanger, Boss Chorus, a noise suppressor, and a delay. So I didn't go full Simon and get the exact same board like Chris does. Chris has like a full Robert board. I didn't go that route. I just kind of pulled together what I had and then found some alternatives to some of the pedals that he has. I know more recently he switched over to like a bass overdrive instead of a metal zone. So I went with a bass overdrive. And I try to keep it on a budget, so that's what you're going to see here. I have more pedals coming in, but just to get back up on playing some shows, that was the ultimate goal. So I'm going to show you what I'm using for my board now, the basses that we're using, the amps that you'll see on stage. And if you guys have any questions or want me to do a demo of something specifically, just leave it down in the comments, and we'll get that set up right away. All right, so you could see I'm using an SWR SM400. I want to say this is the first variation. There was another one that came out just shortly after that had some improvements, some better heat sinks in it and all whatnot. But I got this one at a really good price, and it sounds great. I love it. So you can see some of my settings here. Here's my little skeleton guy. Gain limiter, aural enhancer is supposed to be like a tube emulation, so I keep that kind of low because it sounds kind of funky when you turn it all the way up. Bass is not turned up that high, and I'll show you why in a second. But there's my EQ. I do scoop a lot of the mids. I found that I was getting kind of a honky tone, like a honky bass sound, very nasally. So I pulled out almost all the 800 hertz out. That took care of a lot of it. So I scooped some of the mids. You can see that there. Here's my treble. My master is kind of low, but it never really gets up past about 4 or 5 on stage. It is a really loud amp, so it doesn't need all that. I don't need to be that loud on stage. Crossover and frequency and balance are set at 0 because I'm not bi-amping it. I'm just running it into a single cab. But the single cab that I'm using is an SWR Triad. So I got a 15 right here. I got a 10-inch right there, and then I got my horn, and the tweeter or the horn is set kind of low because it gets really, really bright. But I get some great mids, and some great lows. So yeah. All right. So the first bass I'm using is a Guild Starfire 4. It's got dual bisonic pickups in it, so it's just a great semi-hollow body bass. We know that Simon used it through, let's say, from like Disintegration. So like, let's say, actually no, Kiss Me, the Just Like Heaven album had his Gibson EB2D. So he used it from there all the way through Wish, and then he jumped over to the Firebird, which is another great bass. But so I'm using this one. Those bisonic pickups are great single coil pickups, and you'll hear them in just a second, but I love them. Sound awesome. All right, and next I got my Epiphone Gothic Thunderbird here. You can see my Bad Wolf sticker there. But yeah, this is a really, really cool bass, and it's got the same pickups that he uses, or the Thunderbird pickups that he uses on his Gibson Thunderbird, and then eventually what he uses on his Schecter. Very, very similar style pickups. So that's what we went for. and you'll hear that in just a second. Completely different from the old Starfire. All right, and here's the pedal board that I'm using. Like I said, it's very bare minimum. I haven't even Velcroed anything down just because I'm getting new pedals in and try to do it on a budget. Some of these are going to get swapped out eventually, but for now, you know, I love the way it's working. It's working really, really great. I'm getting some great tones out of it. You guys will hear that in just a second. I'll do a song or two and go over a tutorial on how to play, but you'll hear everything kind of kicked on. So on my right here, that's just a very inexpensive mono price tuner. Nice big, let me see if I can get it to kick on here. Very, very easy to read, especially on stage, nice and bright. So you know, I love it. I love it. I do have a TU3 and a TU2, but I got those on some other guitar pedal boards that I really didn't want to take off, and this one was pretty good. About 20 bucks online. Next, I got a bass overdrive from Behringer. Picked this one up on their sale. This one I kind of set at a low gain, and you'll hear it in just a second. I'm tempted to order another one and set it for high gain, just to give it a little more oomph. Behringer EQ. And as you can see, it's pretty much set flat. The only thing I use it for is for like a little boost. This is great if you put it before the overdrive. You kind of push the overdrive so you get a little more gain out of it. So that's a cool trick. For what we're doing, we don't really need that, so I put it after just to kind of, if I get on stage and I see that there's a frequency that's really popping out or missing, I can always boost it here or cut it here. And if anything, if I just got one of his like the little bass solos, it works great for that. So I'll just kick that on. This is a Moore Ensemble Queen bass chorus. So you can see what I got it set up there. Level, tone, depth, and rate. Nice and slow and lush. This is awesome. I love this one. Next is a monoprice flanger. And this is supposed to be like the Electric Mistress flanger. It's like a mini clone of it, and it works really, really good on bass. Occasionally I'll use an MXR 117, MXR 117, and that works great too. Like I said, I was just trying to slap something together, so this is what I went with. And following the theme of mono price, just because they were really, really cheap, but you know, you can't complain about them. Mono price delay. So you hear that in just a second, but it's just your basic delay, nothing fancy, nothing special going on here. Just does great repeats. So you hear that in just a second. And then the pedal board itself, it's a Furman SPB8. So I can power all my pedals, and then if I got any, I use this for guitar board, and I had a couple of Fender's pedals and a T-Rex Replicator Junior, and like I said, the MXR 117. So I got to use special adapters for that, or more higher voltage adapters. This one only does up to 100 milliamp output per output, so I can only run like basic ones like this. I can't do any Strymon or anything that requires more milliamps. All right, and one of the songs I was asked for was The Holy Hour, so I'm going to go over that. I'm going to do this kind of in 3 parts. I'm going to show you the overall bass, and then I'm going to do a close-up of my picking hand so you can kind of see what strings I'm picking, and then I'm going to do a close-up of my fretted hand so you can see the notes that I'm playing. Yeah, if you want to see anything else, leave it in the comments. If you have any questions about a specific song, what we do for, you know, pedals that we kick on, just leave that in the comments. We'll try to get it to everybody. If it's, you know, if enough people ask about it, we may do like a tutorial on that, or, you know, just, you know, a session on that. One thing to remember is that there's a big difference between what they did in the studio and what they did live. Just depends on the feel of the song, if we may change it and do the live version, or if we may change it and keep it original and do the studio version. So here you go. this is going to be kind of the fingering fret. You're going to stay around the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then the change goes from G to F, or 3rd fret to 1st fret on your bottom string or E string. We're just going to go over a few tones that we use for the bass. A lot of times it's either the chorus is always kicked on or we leave it off, but I want to say like 70% of our set list that we do, the chorus is usually just left on because it's got that nice lush Cure sound. So let me hear you. Actually, here's my clean tone. I'll show you what the overdrive sounds like so you can see how we just kick on a little dirt. Songs like The Walk and Let's Go to Bed, Primary, I'll kick on a little bit of Flanger, so I'll show you what that sounds like. And then the bit of delay. And then for added effect, we can kick them all on. So let's hear what that sounds like with all the different effects as well.